Well, hello there, and good evening to you. If anybody can remember, reference, pick up on that little Aladdin reference, you're my kind of people. Welcome to Friday night. My name is Becca, and tonight we're going to be working in our sewing room. I will tell you, I've been a little inspired by something I never thought I would be inspired by, and that is Hexies. And so tonight's live stream is just going to be me showing you what I've been doing with these little hexie papers and these little pieces of fabric over the past week or so since I actually started playing with my ginger quilter box from August 2022. Now, before I get into all of that, I have an important announcement for you. I hope I'm not too late, but I might be. The ginger quilter box is a monthly sewing subscription box that runs, I think, about $55 a month right now, and it can go even lower than that if you sign up for multiple months. But she's shifting her subscription service so that you can't sign up anytime you want. It'll only be set up so that you can subscribe to that box when she has the box open for sign up. So if you sign up and the box is not open for sign up, you're going to go on a wait list. And then once the box is open to accept new subscribers, you'll be notified first and you'll be able to reserve your spot. She'll go in the order of the wait list, I'm guessing. You'll be able to reserve your spot and you'll get in. And the reason why I'm bringing all that up is because this is your last opportunity in 2022 to get in on the ginger quilter box. She's got the Halloween box coming out. She's got the Christmas box coming out. She's got all of the holidays over the next few months. And so if you like the boxes that you've been seeing me open here and you want to get one and you've been on the fence, speak now or forever hold your peace. So that's not, I need lotion. I'm not trying to strong arm you into that decision, but I want you to know that what you're going to get yourself in for. And the reason why I bring all that up is because tonight's project actually was a ginger quilter box project. So, all right, I need some lotion on my hands because they are very dry. I did see a few folks in the chat talking earlier before I hit the go live button, and Gina, I think it might be Gina from Fort Worth. She said that it's so funny that I'm working on Hexies because the last time she was thinking about working on crochet, boom, I did a live stream with my sister working on crochet. And she's been thinking about Hexies lately, and boom, here I am doing a live stream with Hexies. So I told her she needs to go buy a lottery ticket because she's predicting the future. So there you go. I'm just rubbing this lotion in because I don't want to get any grease on my keyboard or my mouse or my fabric. So while I'm doing that, I'll just say hi to it. Tiffany says she puts the lotion on the skin. Yeah, you know, I'll tell you guys, this Mary Kay Satin Hands, this is my favorite hand lotion. Oh, it's everything. Okay. What are we doing tonight? I'm going to show you in just a minute. But before we do, a couple of other announcements, but SEWBECCA announcements. Announcement number 1. Tomorrow, Bliss Block 4 drops at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and I'm going to premiere that. That is a pre-recorded video. It's not a live stream. It's a video I recorded and edited down, and we will be able to watch it together. So I will be in the comments with you, watching the video with you, interacting with you. If that's something that interests you, pop on over here, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. But don't worry, if you can't make it then, the video will be available for you to watch whenever you're ready to watch it. Thing number 2, I'm talking to you. If you are in the Spools program here on YouTube or my SEWBECCA VIP membership over on my website, please remember that tomorrow at 12 p.m. noon Eastern Time, so noon Eastern Time, is our August workshop on Zoom. If you don't know how to sign up for it, email me, I'll work it out with you. But there should be a post on the community tab if you are paying at that $4.99 level on my channel. And remember, those are going away for you October 1 if you're just in the Spools. I'm not going to do Zoom for YouTube channel memberships anymore October 1. Go check out my website. I got all the details there. And if you are in the SEWBECCA VIP membership, not only can you get all of the links for all the Zooms for the rest of the year out on my website, but a few days ahead of time, I email you and remind you. So there is an email in your inbox from me with the link to register for Zoom. So you should have that information somewhere. I would love to see you guys tomorrow. We're not working on an official project. It's been a chaotic summer for me. Ah, look, So Yeah Brothers coming in with the tip, $2.99. Thank you guys. Love you. So if you are not already registered for the Zoom, make sure to do so. And man, that caught me off guard. Now what do I do? Well, I could tell you to check out So Yeah Quilting tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for their D-Stash. 8 o'clock Eastern time? Yeah, I think so. I literally forgot my train of thought. All right. Zoom tomorrow. Ah, yes. No real project for tomorrow. It's going to be a UFO. The summer has been crazy. I haven't had a chance to do much of anything. So I want you to know that we're just going to have a sew-in. Bring a project that you want to work on, you want to make some progress, and come join us. And if those Zoom workshops are something that you like, you can join my VIP program over on my website, SEWBECCA.com/join-VIP. You'll get all the details. Last announcement before we jump into tonight's project: patterns, 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 patterns. So if you are a VIP member, you already know this, or maybe you haven't read your email. You have an email in your inbox right now with an advanced copy of my Farmer's Star pattern, which I have written. It's gone through a couple rounds of testing. It's lovely. And it is yours for free because you're a VIP member. Everybody else, that pattern is going to drop on September 1st, right at midnight Eastern, midnight Eastern time. So 12:01 Eastern time. The second the clock strikes September 1, that pattern will be available as a PDF download on my website for $5. So if you're interested in that pattern, that's where you'll be able to get it. I've had several testers testing it, so you may have seen pictures leak on the interwebs of this make, and it's really pretty. I'm super grateful for everybody that stepped up and helped me test it. All right, those are all of our announcements. So yes, I hope everyone is having a lovely Friday night. We are currently cutting 5-yard pieces. Sew-in sounds fun. Enjoy, everyone. So, hey, if you guys ever have like 5 minutes on the last Saturday of every month, we do that Zoom sew-in. You are more than welcome. I'll text you guys the info if you want to stop in and say hi. But if you guys don't already know who So Yeah is, So Yeah has a brick and mortar quilt shop in Las Vegas, Virginia. They've just moved to a great big new store. They do retreats. They do quilt fabric sales. They do quilting. They do video tutorials. They blow stuff up. They do lots of stuff. If you haven't checked them out, you can find them on YouTube. And they have a live sale event every Saturday, every Tuesday, and for the month of August, literally every day. So there you go. All right. Mary wants to know if they got rid of the shelf of shame stuff. They might be off because they're so busy. They hop in, say hi, and hop out. So they might not be here anymore. Let me show you what we've been doing. So I'm going to switch to the overhead cam. This is what I've been working on. So in the Ginger Quilter box for August 2022, we've got this lovely pattern. And I'll be honest, when I saw this come through, I went, aw, heck no. Got it, Brody. I'll text you the info. I said, aw, heck no, I am not working with Hexies. Y'all know hand is a 4-letter word, and I don't need no hand sewing in my life. But then I started looking at the pattern a little bit closer, and let me flip it on over. Let me finish that statement. Let me flip it on over. Look at the back of this. Look at this picture. Do you see all these white lines that are going around each of those Hexies? There's a trick. You're not hand sewing the Hexies together at all. You're laying them on a piece of fabric, and then what she's done, I don't know if you can see the details, I'm not zoomed in quite enough, but she has just kind of quilted these octagons following where the point is from the octagon. So you know what I'm talking about. There's 3 lines of quilting on there. She's just quilted them in place, so they're not even tacked down. They're just quilted right onto the fabric. And then you use that to make a pillow. Genius, right? I mean, I love the look of Hexies, but what I don't love is sewing them together by hand because I don't want to do any sewing by hand. I have a machine. I have a Juki, which was actually given to me by the brothers over at So Yeah Quilting, so check them out. I have a Juki that sews super, super fast, so why would I ever want to do anything with my hand? You get more stuff done with that. Well, I can think of a couple of reasons why I might want to do some things with my hands. But most of the time I want to use my sewing machine. So it got me thinking, what if I just do one, right? We've all seen those grandma's flower gardens floating around, and many of you may have done thousands of them. I have done none of them, but they look something like this. And the idea is that you take 7 hexies all together, 1 goes in the center, and then you have 6 around the outside edge, and it makes a flower. And when you make multiple of those, they start to kind of go together like puzzles. Oh, sorry. I saw Ian say, those are octagons. They don't have 8 sides. No, they're not. They're hexies, hexagons, 5 sides. But they kind of go together to form this flower petal. And so my thought was, you know what? I am a big proponent of, let's not just say we're not going to do something. Let's try it first. Got to try everything just at least once, even if it's only like a half a stitch. I got to say I tried it before I say I will never do it. And the reason why I say that is because sewing and quilting was not my jam. And if you would have asked me 5, 6, 7 years ago if I would ever sew on a sewing machine, quilt, work with fabric and thread, needles in any way, I would have laughed in your face and walked out of the room. And now it is my preferred method to create. So I don't feel like I, in good conscience, can sit here and tell you that this is something that I will never do if I've never tried it. So I grabbed a few hexies. I grabbed a piece of fabric with a piece of batting on the back, and I decided I was just going to make one piece of fabric. I cut my fabric down to 6.5 inches by 9.5 inches, and that was key for me because I figured if nothing else, I could get a nice wristlet out of this fabric. It's already quilted on one side. If I don't like it, I don't have to make another one. I can just put, TT, thank you so much for joining. If I don't like it, then I can just get another piece of fabric to put on the back. It can be plain Jane if I want it to, but it'll turn into a wristlet and I've got something that I can kind of show off. So this works for me. This works really well for me. So I figured I would try it. What happened is I grabbed 6 hexies, 7, including the one for the center. I laid them out and I glued everything down. Like I put way too much glue on my hexie paper and I quilted it and I liked the way it looked. And I decided that I liked it so much that I wanted to do more of these. And so what I found I was doing is basting hexies whenever my hands were free. This is amazing. I absolutely love it. So tonight I'm going to show you the process that I took. Oh, I forgot one thing. I'm going to show you the process that I took to baste these down and how I adhered them to the fabric. But the other thing I want to show you is after I made this piece of fabric, I was like, you know what? If I liked this one, I didn't can't talk. I did not change out my thread when I quilted this. And I wonder what would happen if I would have taken the time to change out at least my top thread. So I did one more. And I grabbed a scrap piece of white fabric and some hexies and I laid them out and I changed out my top thread. I left the bobbin white, which maybe in the future I won't do that. But I left the bobbin white and I didn't quilt them. But this time I edge stitched all the way around every single hexie. And what that really reminded me of is needle turn applique, which I love the look of. But I have been very intimidated to try because it just feels like so much work, and it probably is. But this gave me like that needle turn applique look, and it also gave me the hexie look. So I want to show you how I basted these hexies, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to tack them down. Now, full disclosure, what I'm planning to do with these hexies is make a bunch of blocks this size with hexie designs on them. Maybe flowers, maybe a stripe, I don't know, but I'm planning to put some hexie designs on 6.5-inch squares of fabric, and then when I'm all done, I'm going to sew those 6.5-inch squares together to make a quilt top. And then maybe when I quilt it, I'll just quilt around the hexie a little bit. Maybe I think it'd be really cool to kind of do like a little motif around it, like a flower motif. That would be a lot of fun. So I've said like 5 times, I want to show you what I've been doing. The materials that you're going to need for this are, of course, fabric that you want to turn into hexies. And so we got a charm pack in the Ginger Quilter box. Yes, I can explain needle turn applique. I'll get to that in just a second. These are all of the fabrics that came in the charm pack. And the pattern said basically to cut a bunch of 2.5-inch squares of fabric. So I took every single piece of fabric in my charm pack and I cut it into 4 pieces. 1 5-inch square will get you 4 2.5-inch pieces. So I have got a stinking lot of these 2.5-inch squares. I started by pulling out the colors that spoke to me more and ignoring the ones like this orange that speak to me not at all. Because pumpkin orange is not a great color for me. I know I have a lot of coral on the shelf behind me. Don't judge. So you need some fabric. You also need some hexies, and the package that we got in the Ginger Quilter box is a package of 100-piece 1-inch hexagons. I have used up quite a bit of these, but we're going to use some more tonight. And then the other thing that you need is something to baste them with. Now, full disclosure, a lot of people out there talk about basting with needle and thread. I'm not doing that. I'm doing the glue-based method. And the first hexagon that I made, the first flower that I made, this one, I overglued. I seriously overglued because I didn't know what I was doing. I put glue in the middle. I put glue on the side. I put glue on the side again. I put glue back in the middle when I set it down. Like, there's a lot of glue behind all of these little blue pieces of fabric, but the glue is either, oh, actually for that one, it's this Elmer's glue, which just washes right out. So it'll be okay. But it made it hard to get the papers out. So I went looking in the interwebs for somebody that knew what they were doing with EPP. And do you know who came up? Do you know who came up when you search for EPP? Tula Pink. Tula Pink came up and she was showing, I think she has like a 5 or a 7-part series on Fat Quarter Shop's website for how she does EPP. And I just was like this the whole time. Like, literally, it was like, my eyes were big. I had this big smile on my face. It was, well, it was great. It was great. But that led me to looking for some other things, because while it was really entertaining to watch her talk, it was also, I wanted to get some very digestible pieces of information, and I wanted to see what other people were doing. So I left her, I watched her series for several episodes of it, and then I went over to Erica Arndt from Confessions of a Homeschooler, and I watched her 2 or 3-part series on EPP, and she was actually working with Hexies, I think, in that video. And she gave me some tips in that video about gluing, and that's what I've been using, and that's what I'm going to pass along to you today. So I'm going to look at the chat and then we'll dive in. There was a question in there. If there are any questions, put them in there. But the one question was, can you explain needle turn applique? I'll do my best. But keep in mind, I am not an expert when it comes to this. So there's that. Applique is basically when you take, this is actually a really good example of it. I'll use this. Applique is basically when you take a piece of fabric on the bottom and you just sew another piece of fabric on top of your foundation fabric with the wrong side of this fabric touching the right side of this fabric. So you're just like setting a piece of fabric on top and sewing it down. Now there's a couple of ways that you can do that. You can do raw edge applique, you could do like satin stitch, I think, applique or blanket stitch, or you could do needle turn. The raw edge applique just means that you're just tracing the shape of that fabric that you lay down with a straight stitch. But because you've not treated the fabric, tucked it under, or gone over it with a zigzag or a blanket stitch, you can see the fabric that you laid on top fray over time. And some people really love the look of that, and some people absolutely hate it. So it is a preference. It's a personal taste thing. Needle turn applique is when you essentially take a piece of fabric. This is almost an example of it, but not quite. It's basically taking a piece of fabric and turning under all the sides could be a curve, it could be a straight line, it could be whatever it is. But turning over the raw edge of your fabric about 1/4 inch or more so that you have a nice folded finished edge on all the sides. That way, when you set it down on your fabric and you're sewing it onto your foundation piece, you're not going to get that fraying over time. Sue Daly has excellent tutorials on this. I think she is known as like the EPP queen. I would definitely check her out. You could also, I think Missouri Star has a couple of videos out there. Fat Quarter Shop probably does too. The method that I have seen used the most, and I really haven't done, is when you take a piece of fabric and you do something with some SF101 to sew it around the edges, and then you cut in the middle, and then you flip it out, and then you adhere it down. Jean Truelove taught me that one. So lots of resources if you want to look it up, but I hope that answered your question. Karen Sharp says, hi, SEWBECCA. I had no idea that you only started sewing about 7 to 8 years ago. I find that truly inspirational, seeing how far you have progressed and what you've been able to accomplish. Thank you, Karen. Gosh, was it 7? It was 7 years ago, because I think it was like 2015. I'd have to go look, but yeah, it's not been that long. And you know who else hasn't been sewing that long is Tiffany. She started about the same time that I did. I remember that from our conversations. And she has just like, she's won blue ribbons for her quilt. Speaking of blue ribbons for quilts, did you all see that Ian won a blue ribbon for the quilt that he made on our live stream back in March when we did the Charm Pack Challenge? He showed up with a 10-inch layer cake of some Tula Pink fabric, mistakenly thought it was a Charm Pack, and made a beautiful quilt with some sashing fabric, and had his quilter quilt it, entered it in a quilt show, and it is won a blue ribbon. So congratulations, Ian. Ooh, Lori Holt. Lori Holt's a great reference to go to for needle turn. Yes. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to show you what my process was. I don't know why I did that. I clicked the wrong button. Sorry about that. I'm going to preface this by saying, take a breath and enjoy the process. This may not be the right way. This is just the way that I have been doing it. It does not mean that this is the way that I may be doing this in a month, 6 months, or 6 years from now, because as we all know, we evolve our skills. So this is how I'm doing it today. So no judging, judgment-free zone, just like Planet Fitness. All right, so the tools that I have been using for this, I've been experimenting, and we're going to continue to experiment on this live stream. Pam wants to know, how did you learn to do all this, Becca? Mostly YouTube. Mostly YouTube. I have taken a couple of classes, but I just try stuff and I watch people. And then I see them do stuff and I want to try it. So if I can learn it, you can learn it. What you're going to need is some Hexies, or whatever your preferred paper pieces are. Maybe you're doing a different shape. I don't know. You're going to need your Hexie. You're going to want one for each shape that you're basting. And I'm just going to go through one color and baste all of those colors, because that's what I've been doing. I'm going to grab that teal because it's gorgeous. I'm going to set this aside. So I grab a square that I'm going to baste, and I lay it so that it's right side down. And then I eyeball and try to line up my Hexie on the wrong side of that fabric. And this is where things get a little fun for me. And by fun, I mean, there's got to be a better way. I have four. I have 4 different glues that I have been playing with to see if which one's better. Most of what I've used is this Elmer's glue stick and this Gillily Studio applique glue. I did use a little bit of this Roxanne glue basted dip and dab, but it comes out almost like the same consistency of a glue stick, and it's not really easy to get out of the tube. And I don't know if that's just because that's how it is, or if mine's really old. So I haven't liked this as much. I do not have the Sew Line glue pen, but that would be perfect for this. So I'm going to do one with each of these glue methods, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Sherlock Sews, asks, do you leave the template on? Not when I sew it onto the fabric. So once I put it on the fabric, before I do that, I actually take the paper out. Pat Strawhouse says she likes the Sew Line glue. I want to try that. I just don't have one. So I was hoping this weekend to run out and pick one up and try that, because I feel like that would be a time saver. If I could just shave off a few seconds for each one of these, it would make a world of difference. Kate says, one little helping hint, use a harder surface to place everything on. Okay, well, let me flip this over. That is a wonderful, helpful hint. I will tell you, that's actually what I've been doing. I'm just normally used to using this mat when I'm doing a live stream or a video, because it works for my mouse and all the things. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to lay everything back out because this is a harder surface. All right. Okay. Here, oh, I switched the camera. Dog nabbit. All right. Here is the hexie. And here is my piece of fabric. I have the fabric right side down, and I have the hexie on top of it. Now, this is the piece that I don't love. I don't love getting the crud all over my hands. So I did this. I have this little dish, and I just squeezed out a bit of glue, because otherwise I feel like I'm touching it and I'm rubbing my hands in it and everything, and I don't like doing that. And then I grabbed a Q-tip, because apparently Q-tips are supposed to be for crafting and not your ears. So I figured for once in my life, I'd use them for their intended purpose. If you know, you know. So I just dab my cotton swab in the glue. I don't need a ton on it. And then I just touch a little bit on the fabric over here, a little bit on the fabric down here, and then just lightly rub it along the edge that I'm going to baste down. And then I grab, because I don't want to touch the glue, and that's just me. That's a tactile thing. I grab my Alex Anderson 4-in-1 tool, and I use it to push the fabric over, and I use the finger presser portion of it to press that down, which does a nice job of creasing the fabric and applying pressure to get the fabric that I just folded over to adhere to the glue. And then I get a little bit more glue, and I dab it here on the fabric, here on the fabric, and then right alongside there. And then I just come in with my finger presser tool. I grab one corner, crease it along, and do the other corner. Now, is this a bit finicky? Am I making a bigger deal out of this than I need to? Yep, probably. Do I care? Nope, because I'm enjoying my time, myself. I'm enjoying the process, so it doesn't matter if I'm being more finicky than I need to be. There's probably an easier way, but I'm enjoying doing this. So I find it relaxing, I find it soothing, and that's just me. I will say most of the time, if I can see that there's not a ton of glue seeping through the fabric, and I want to point that out actually, this is right here what I'm trying to avoid touching, because I get tired of all the glue being on my fingertips. The glue seeps through the fabric when I overglue. And again, this is because I'm still new and I'm still learning how little glue I need for this. I can't emphasize enough that you don't need a ton of glue. You really don't. But I keep adding more than I need. And so it kind of seeps through the fibers on the fabric. And as a result, it gets on my fingers when I run my fingers along there. So that's why I like using the tool. It just kind of keeps the glue off my hands. Rich says, it's what works for you, Becca. You are doing good. Yep, it's all about what works for you. Listen, everybody's got their own thing. My motto is there are no rules in quilting. There's just it's your sewing room. There's no rules. It's your room. There are just rules that you want to follow for yourself. My sewing room, my rules. I'll do it my way. You do what works for you. And why am I using the cotton swab? Because I'm sure somebody is going to ask that for me. I feel like the cotton swab, if I haven't said this already, I feel like that gives me a little bit more control over the glue. When I was using the Elmer's glue, it was coming out. So, like, it was coming out real thick. And then when I was using this, it was coming out real thick too. So I've done one with this. It works. After I've got it done, I do like to give it, oop, hi. I do like to give it a little pat to make it lay nice and tight, and then I just put it in my done pile. So that's with the Elmer's glue. I want to try out a couple other glues while I'm doing this, since I've got everybody here. This one is the Roxanne Glue Based It Dip and Dab. It wasn't my favorite when I tried it earlier, but we're going to try all of them. So we'll try this one tonight too. Oh, a cheap kid's paintbrush instead of a Q-tip. Stephanie, I think that would be a great idea because the Q-tip, I think, just absorbs a bunch of that glue. I don't mind putting the Elmer's glue on this, but I definitely wouldn't put like the Roxanne glue on it. I don't know if you can even see this. I feel like this is probably a better like applique or EPP glue, but it definitely has like that consistency of a glue stick. Some folks in the chat are saying that Joanna Figueroa from Fig Tree & Company uses a lot of starch. I could see that. If you wanted to, you could just press it under and then just starch and press with some iron. I think that would work too. Oh, this one's hard to get in there, if I'm being honest. Like, pulling it in and out of that little hole is not great. Dip and dab, it says. Not a fan of this glue. And I wonder if it's just because it's old. Hey, Teresa. Oh, like it does not want to work. But what I'm going to do, because, well, no, I'm not. Actually, maybe I will. I want to try pulling the papers out of each one and see which one comes out easier too. So this one was the Elmer's glue. We'll keep it with the glue that was in there. That way we remember. So I'll move these out of the way. Wanda says she has tried the Sew Line pen and likes it. I had several of those and they were collecting dust because I wasn't doing any applique, and I had this Roxanne's glue based it, and I was like, oh, I'll use that because it's liquid glue and I felt like it would be better. And so I gave them away. And now I'm like, dog nabbit. This is why you don't give away stuff in your sewing room. All right. I will say with this one, I feel like I don't have to use my other tool because my fingers aren't getting icky. But it is hard to get the glue off of the wand onto the fabric. It's not... It really is more like paste than it is glue. But I bet this paper is going to come out really nice. Patty G says she is not a fan of this glue either. Which is sad because like the Roxanne stuff is good. It's just this one I'm not loving it. Not loving it. Oh my gosh, it's hard to get in there. And now I'm going to pull this one over. So the fifth side on that hexie is tacked down. I'm just going to tap it a little bit with my hand, and I'm going to put the glue with the hexie up here, and we'll try that later. So we've got two more glues to try. I'm going to grab another square, right side down, another hexie. This one is the Jill Lily Studio applique glue. This is liquid as well, so I'm going to use the same. Actually, I think this might come out. I think the hole is a little bit finer, so I might be able to do what it was intended to do, just touch a couple of drops. So I do a drop here, a couple of drops along the way, and a drop down there. And that actually didn't go through the fabric, so that's nice. I don't have it on my fingers, I like that. Drop, couple of drops, couple of drops. Little bit goes a long way with this stuff. Like a teeny bit goes a long way. Because really all you're doing is just trying to get it to hold the shape until you're ready to take the paper out and put it on your project. Oh no, Janet says her husband is out of town and she had a margarita. She went to dinner by herself and had a margarita. Okay. There we go. And I have one more edge to baste. Becca, do you think the papers will come out easy? We're going to test it. We'll see what happens. I think some of the glue will allow the paper to come out easy and some of them won't. So we'll see what happens. Heather said, my husband is in town and I could use a margarita. Y'all are bad. By the way, you can reuse these Hexies too. Do you see I've got some red fibers on here from the last one I did? I'm going to totally reuse that. I'm going to just flip it around maybe. And this is my... Oh, goodness, come on, get off there. This is my normal applique glue. This is the Roxanne's Glue Based It. It's a 2-ounce bottle and it has this long tip on it. I'm just going to try and get a couple of drops out over here. There we go. Drop, 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 drop. Way more drops than I probably need. What I'm feeling for when I do that is whether or not the glue seeps through the weave of the fabric. I really don't want glue on my hands, and that's why I'm feeling for that. I feel like with the applique glue, the Jill Lily Studios, this one and this Roxanne's Glue Based It, the glue isn't coming through the fibers, but I don't think it's because it's a different type of glue or anything. I think it's just because it's a fine tip and it's slowing the flow of the glue, so I can't over glue it. If you ask me which one I think is going to come off the worst, I think this one's going to suck the most. Double-sided tape. Whoa, 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 whoa. People are talking about using double-sided tape for this. Now that would be, I don't have any, but that would be a great thing to try. Too much glue, Becca. Yep, probably. Thank you. I'm still learning. It's also really fun to just like dab that tip along the way. Okay, so those are my 5 Hexies that are covered. I know I need 6 of that color and then 1 of the center color. So I'm going to do 1 more because I'm going to make, no, that's 4. I'm going to do 2 more and I'm going to use this glue because it's opened already and that one was really easy to use. Kate says, Sorry. Wonder if you can use crazy glue much faster. Natalie, no. Stephanie says you should probably trim off some of the corners on your square first. I think you have too much fabric as well. Okay, well, I mean, it'll be fine. I'm not hand sewing these, so I don't think that bulk matters, right? Like, if all I'm doing is tacking it down, it's laying flat. Use a little bit less glue. I'm going to be purposeful to do kind of one dot on the side, one on the paper, that didn't come out, and then one over here. This is going to be like the tiny amount of glue. I just want to see if it holds. Because the reason why I keep putting more is because I'm afraid it won't hold. So we're going to be a little bit more diligent in our glue portioning here. Oh, see, that all like came off. Oh no, there it goes. 1, 1, 1. And then I'm just going to fold that over. You're doing good, Becca. I'm trying to do some hexies. You make it look easy. Becca, go steal a glue stick from your daughter really quick. She actually doesn't have any. How sad is that? They're all at school. Maybe quick spritz of quilting spray based. Yep, don't have any. Don't have any spray based. They make the papers now out of fusible interfacing so you don't have to remove them. Oh, that's awesome. That sounds like fun. Okay. Dab here, one dab in the middle. Nothing came out. I had to touch it like twice. Smooth it along. I think the trick that I'm picking up on is if you can see the glue come through, you have too much maybe. And just trust that it's gonna hold. Oh, I actually have seen that. I am a paper princess says, check out how Sue Daly bastes her hexies. She's so fast and she uses a rotating mat. I've seen her, I want to say on Missouri Star's website, I see her like, chew, 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 chew. Like she goes super fast. I can't, I'm not that fast yet. I will say, I think it was Stephanie Smith that said that she thinks I have too much bulk and it might not hurt to trim things down, like at the corners, I think she said. I will say I tried to hand sew these earlier and I had a heck of a time getting a needle through all this bulk. So if I were hand sewing this project, I probably would definitely do that. I don't know that this is the right thing to do if you are hand sewing, but for putting it through the Juki, I think it'll be okay. All right, so there we go. That's the less amount of glue, these two. But all three of them are using this. Now, there was a question in the chat. Let me see if I can get it up here. Doesn't the glue ruin the fabric and dull the needle? So this glue, and this glue are made for fabric. They are water-soluble fabric glues. They come out in the wash. This is Elmer's water-soluble, non-toxic, washable school glue. So all four of these glues, if they get on fabric, when you put them through the wash cycle, they wash out. So no, that doesn't ruin your fabric. As for whether or not it gums up the needle, I can't answer that. I haven't had a problem. How, when? Take the paper out, Patty. How, when? Take the paper out? Oh, yeah. Bubba can sew through tin cans. Yes, he can, Quiltessa. The Juki can go through 16 layers. I may have tried a little bit more than that. Curious about Terrial Magic or that Acorn product. You know, maybe those are something that we'll do on a live stream one night. Okay, so I feel like these have been setting a decent amount of time, but I want to find a contrasting color to go with this hexie. And because I did one that has the teal in the middle and the blue around the outside, I'm going to grab a light blue and we're going to make an opposite version. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. And while I'm I want to let that dry really good, just a couple of minutes. So I'm going to cut out from my background, this fabric, I want to make sure that I want to get another piece of 6.5 inch by 9.5 inch fabric and batting so that I can just quilt this down the same way I did this one. And then I have a little wristlet that has one of these on either side. So I'm not going to worry about trimming this down right now because I'm going to quilt it. I'll trim it down later. I am instead going to get a scrap piece of batting. I'm going to hack at it. There's a product called Hexie foam that you can leave in. Oh, okay. Cool deal. Polly says if the glue is completely dry, it will not gum up your needle. Very cool. This is about the right size. Do you like my ultra precise way of cutting? Just take the scissors to it. That's great. Okay. So we're going to set this aside. And we're going to pull this back over here. I really want to let this sit for just a couple of minutes. I want the glue to be really nice and dry before we do our test pull. I don't want to find out, I don't want to pull it out while it's wet. I really want it to dry, and it probably should be dry. It says 100% water soluble, pH neutral, and dries clear. Apply tiny controlled dots of glue to desired areas. It doesn't say how long it takes to dry. See what this one says. Fabrics will remain bonded unless they contact water. This one's probably dry. Okay, you know, this is actually a good test. We'll flip it over. Do we see liquid on the back? That one's horrible. Do you use your... Oh, use your iron to dry it. You guys are so smart. So smart. I want to keep these in the same order. Boom. Iron. All of you are like, iron, iron, iron. I just want to make sure they're it's fully dry. Maybe this will cause the glue to bond more. What do you guys think? Yep, 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 yep. Yep, 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 yep. And just drink some coffee. You like my mug? Chewbacca. Y'all wish Kathy a... Gosh, Becca, you're driving me nuts. I'm sorry, Karen. I'm sorry. I don't know what you want me to do with that. You guys see, it's been Kathy's birthday. Iron, the Roxanne, and Acorn. Okay. I'm playing with Hexies, Janet. Waiting for my iron to heat up. Watching glue dry is similar to watching paint dry. Indeed. Sorry, I have to call it a night. I'm not feeling very good right now. I hope everything works out, and I'll pick up where I left off tomorrow. Good night, Sandra. I'm gonna press all of these. It's ready. It's ready. Let's do it. Come on. And there's some heat. It won't take long because it's not that much liquid. I'm going to even do this one. What? They all get the same treatment. That's how we know. All right, let's try and pull them off and see which ones pull. It was like this. I need to make sure that I do them in the right order. Let's see which ones pull easier. I think this pile is going to pull the easiest because that was using this glue. Try and get you all in shot here. That was using this glue, and I started controlling the dabs towards the end. What kind of batting are you using? I'm just using a scrap of Dream bamboo. I only use bamboo unless somebody specifically asks for cotton. I just keep bamboo. That's my favorite. Okay, we're going to start with this one because this is what I did first. Nothing will dry glue like 400 degrees. You're right. Okay, so this one I think is going to be hard. I know I overglued this. And it is definitely, it's coming off. But I know I overglued this, especially now that I see how much I put on with that last one. It is coming off. The glue is adding some body to the fabric. So it's kind of keeping its shape. There, it came out. And then I'll just take a minute. And where those creases were, I'm just going to fold it back over on top of itself. And I'll lay it around this way. So I've got my hexie. That's what that looks like. And now we're going to do the Roxanne glue basted dip. Oh, wow. Okay, so this bonded the fabric. Like in the spots where I put it on the fabric, it bonded even better than the glue. Ooh, this one's tougher. Yeah, this one was easier. This one's the worst. That one was the worst. But held the best. So 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Okay. There we go. Why can't you just keep papers in and wash them away? I don't think these papers are designed to be that way. I think they do have some that are. But this is going to go in a wristlet and I'm not going to wash it. Well, I guess because it's going in a wristlet, I could leave it there. But I think what would happen over time is the paper would end up being perforated. I'm just following the process, Natalie. Ooh, this one's hard too, but I think this is because I overglued it. Oh my gosh. Look at this one. I way overglued that. Look at all that paper that's left in there. Ugh. This is user error. I don't think this is a glue issue. Although I will say, I feel like I used less of this than I used with that. And you see what happened. Yeah, I want to sit here and pick out each little piece of paper. We're not going to do that. We're just going to flip it back over. We're going to find the creases and the points, and we're going to give it its shape back. Just like that. That one got chewed up pretty good. I think that's actually one that I reused, so maybe that was it too. All right, here are these, and I don't remember. Oh, this one's got to be the first one. Not bad. It came out pretty clean. Not bad. Couldn't you just iron the folds against the paper without using the glue? Let's do that one too. Because I was thinking the same thing, Barb. Can you reuse them? Yes, as long as the paper... Oh, that came out real nice and real quick and really easy. I think the benefit to the paper being in there, and somebody that does EPP could probably answer it a little bit better than I can, but based on what I saw, the cardstock adds oomph and texture and grip, like it adds bulk to your fabric for when you're hand sewing. It just keeps it from being flimsy, and that's why you leave it in. But if you're not going to hand sew those pieces, then you don't need the cardstock in there. So yeah, let's try and do one where we just tuck it under using this as a pressing guide. I bet that would be the best one. One. And you know what? Since these have a little bit of oomph on them, they're standing up a little bit. I'm going to come in and just give them some heat. Get them to lay flat. Marie, I think you're right. Way too much glue. Because the last couple where there was just a teeny bit of glue, those came off a whole lot easier. All right, let's grab, oh, this is one that I did earlier. You know what, let's do a yellow one. Oh, I did want to do matching. No, you know what, we're not going to quilt it. We're just going to do it on a piece of fabric. We're going to grab a yellow to go in the center of this green one. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my iron. I'm going to fold this under, and I'm just going to press along that template every time I fold in. Oh, okay. The paper wants to shift around on you. So let me get it folded over. In a few spots. Press. And now I'll fold over in the other spots. The only bad thing is my iron's way over there. I don't have one of those little, ooh, I have that one. I don't have a little iron on my table. This would be perfect for a little iron. Can you still see? Okay, now I'm just going to flip it over from this side. Put just a dab of glue in the middle of the fabric. Yep, I think that would work too. I have a hexie die from Quilt, so I can cut a bunch before basting. Awesome. And now I'm just going to open up one side and I'm going to pull that out, and oh my goodness, I can, like, that's perfectly clean. And this is still flat. Oh, that's nice. You don't need glue. You just need heat. Much less fussy. However, if you were trying to just baste up a bunch and you didn't know what you were going to use them for, making a pile is great. And if you want to hand sew them, making a pile is great. This, I like the press version better. I see no glue for Becca. Nice, crisp hexie. Yes, I agree. So we're not going to make that other side for the wristlet. I lied. We're going to make another block because I want this to go on my quilt. So let me show you what I'm going to do. This is the next part. Are you guys ready for this? This is the fun part. And then your fingers get all messy from glue, right? Natalie said, 430 people are sitting in amazement of this experiment of Hexies. that's what the live streams need to be more of, experiments, right? Like, this is fun. Okay, so this is where the applique glue probably will come into play, even if I heat press. And that's positioning the Hexies on my piece of fabric. So I know I want them to be in the center of this. So I'm just gonna fold to find the center, and I'm gonna crease it with my hand. And then I'm gonna grab my center Hexie. Now, I know I'm going to trim it down to make it square, so I'm not worried about where it goes, but I do want this center one to be lined up in the center. So I made a crease in the center of the fabric, and I'm going to take this point and this point, and I'm going to lay them right on top of that crease. And then I'm going to pull this back, and we learned earlier that just a dab will do ya. One drop, no more than that, just one drop. Just to hold that right in place. Heather said, I will stick with the glue. And then we're going to take these green and we're going to place them around the hexie in a flower garden shape. Now, this is a personal preference for you. You can scoot them in as tight as you would like, or you can leave them with a bit of that white. So I'm gonna bump mine up. I'm gonna see if I can get like that full on traditional hexie look. You know what I'm talking about, where they look like they're sewn together. I'm gonna try that because I think that looks marvelous. Look at this. And I am not hand sewing them, but I have what looks like a perfect, almost perfect, I think it looks perfect, grandmother's flower. Now I want all those pieces to stay, oh my gosh, I just saw it in the camera. Ah! I want all these pieces to stay exactly where they are so I can tack them all down together. So I'm just gonna very gently pick up one drop of glue, boom. And if I need to reposition it, like this one I scooted a little bit, I will reposition it and hold it in place. And then this next one, I'm gonna get perfectly lined up again. I'm gonna hold it down with my fingers, pick it up, one dab will do ya. And then come in, get those raw edges all nice and lined up. I'll turn this. I'm going to put a dab of glue down here. It doesn't even matter if it's perfectly in place because I'm going to have to reposition it anyway. I'm learning as I go, guys. I'm learning as I go. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to do this one. Get under there. There we go. I feel like Mr. Dress Up right now. You guys remember Mr. Dress Up from PBS? Oh, I loved that show. And I always loved the craft segment where he would make costumes or arts and crafts time. I liked the sound of all of the materials coming out. It was very soothing. And we know all of that today is ASMR, but that didn't have a name back then. I liked like the sound of the equipment moving around. It was great. Oh, I loved it. All right, so there's my basted, like I wouldn't flop this around, but everything's good. Love your fingernails. Thank you. I cut them way back and I just got a gel polish, and I'll actually tell you, the lady squared them and made them longer. And I was like, you know what? I need them shorter for typing. So I last night filed them way down. I love a French manicure. All right. So now we're going to go over to the sewing machine and doop, doop, doop. I am going to tack these down with, I would like to use a thread color that kind of blends with this, but I don't think I have a green over here. So I'm going to have to go get a green from my thread case on the other side of the room. So here we go. Doobie doobie doo. These are all my threads. I'm going to look for a color that matches the yellow flower and the green petals, the yellow center and the green petals. So what I'm going to do, lay this out. I'm going to go into my thread stash. And it's so funny when you do this, because if I held this up over here, well, on camera it looks like it might work, but really the best way to check to see if it works is by laying a thread of that, a string of that thread on the fabric to see if it matches. This, I think, is not right, but it could work. So we're not going to use this one. That was color number 4093, in case anybody wants to know. I think this is going to be it. Oh, nope, that's the same color. Ha! That's going to be too dark, I think. What do you think? Let's see. Sometimes it'll fool you. Oh yeah, that's too dark. Sometimes it will fool you. Hi, Stephanie. Whoop. Okay. These are both the same color. We have two of them. We're going to try this one. I think this is going to be it. Oh, look at that. Perfect. This is the one I'm going to use. Anybody wants to know, that's color number 1148. Now I want to find a yellow for the center. Look at this pretty one. Oh, that'll work perfectly. This is color number 3910, if anybody wants to know. So I'm going to use those two colors, and I'm not going to change out the bobbin. I'm just going to change out the top. Hi, Jeanette. Okay. So let's get things situated. Okay. We're going to snippity-doo-dah that thread. Pull this through the machine. And I'm going to put this on my, whoop, runaway thread, somebody get it. Going to put this here. We're going to do the green petals first. I'm really excited about these snips too. Oh, hi, I'm picture in picture. I don't need to be picture in my picture. Really excited about these snips too. So Lauren Mormino had a summer project box. She may still have some available if you want to pick them up. I grabbed one because I was in love with the fabric, and I've been in a bag, wanting to make a bag mood lately. And I grabbed one of her boxes, and it came, and I opened it up, and I got started cutting all the fabric. And dumb me, I did not pay attention to the pattern cutting instructions before I just started hacking into the fabric. Though, in my defense, I was not having a particularly good day. I started hacking into the fabric, and I miscut. I forgot to cut the handles. So now the whole project is on hold while I order an oops pack. I ordered an oops pack, an extra fabric pack to come so that I can cut the handles. But these little snips came in the box, and I'm really excited about them. I'll show them to you up close in just a second. I want to get my machine threaded first. How many times do we think it'll take for me to poke the thread? Oh, second time's a charm. Perfect. Let me show you these snips. These are les snips. They have the watercolor roses from her design on it. They're really pretty. I don't know what these are called, but they're really cute. They're super adorable. Just snip, snippity, snip, snip, snip. And also it came with this that says, let's just sew whatever. And I think this works quite nicely in my hair. We'll just put this up here. Maybe that's not what it's meant for, but that's where it's going tonight. I don't like when hair falls in my face while I'm sewing. So that's me. Oh, VR loves my shirt. Thank you. My sister designed it. Get it on my website. All right, so what am I doing to tack these down? I'm keeping my 2.0 stitch length because we're not really going to see any of the stitching. And I'm just going to, right next to the edge, maybe 1/8 of an inch away, I'm just going to trace around every single one of these little hexies. I'm going to put the green thread on the green petals. When I get towards the Yep, I can't talk and do this apparently, but I'm just sewing it down. I think for the best results, if you did take the time to match your bobbin thread color to your top thread color, the sewing would look even better. I didn't do that, but it'll be okay. Okay, so there's one. Now I'm going to move on to the next one. What do you guys think of this? Is this something that you think you would do? Sometimes the bobbin thread does show through. You're right, Donna. If I were entering this in a show or I wanted it to be absolutely perfect, I would take the time to match my top and bottom thread, the colors. Okay. Scratching it together. Every time I get almost right up to that point, one of those points, I'm stopping with my needle down and I'm pivoting. And what I'm doing, because it works on my machine, is I'm lining up that folded edge where the fabric's tucked under with the inside of my presser foot. And it's just to keep everything approximately the same. And that's close enough to the edge that it should be tacking down all of the fabric that's folded up under. So we should be okay. There we go. There we go. I don't know why I'm saying there we go. You guys know what's loaded on the long arm? Or not loaded on the long arm, but pressed and draped over the long arm and waiting for a special label before I load it on the long arm? The Monica quilt. You know what I'm hoping to quilt this weekend? The Monica quilt. And I can't wait to share the story of the quilt, how it's going to be quilted, and actually even the label that I'm going to make for it. It's already got a forever home, and you're going to hear the whole story about when I release that vlog. So coming soon in a couple of weeks. And if you don't know what the Monica quilt is, go watch my video. I did a vlog. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. Here we go. We're almost done with these Hexies. There we go. Okay. Woo! Oh, Crystal says she thinks she prefers the white space. Well, that'll be the fun thing. When we get through all of quilting this one down, we'll look at them side by side and see what you guys prefer. And maybe we'll even do a giveaway tonight, because I've got some fat quarters sitting. In fact, we'll do 2 giveaways. I've got some things sitting over on my table that I know I'm not going to use. And I would love to put them in a flat rate padded envelope and get them out. I think we'll do that tonight. We'll do a giveaway. So if you are watching, stay tuned. Once I get this tacked down, we'll do some Facebook sew and share, but we'll open up a raffle while we're doing that so that everybody can get their raffle tickets while we're looking at all of the things that you've posted in the Facebook group. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. How many subscribers am I at? Somebody look. Mom was saying earlier that I was close to 15,000. Am I at 15,000 yet? Hi, Linda. I ask because when I hit that 15,000, we're going to be doing a giveaway for a $100 gift card to Fat Quarter Shop. I'm really excited to share that with you. Okay, here we go. Last one. This is the yellow thread on the yellow hexie. All right, now I'm going to snip all these extra little loose threads. Oh, I realized I didn't even have the picture-in-picture on the whole time. 14.9, got it. Guys, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. That would sure help me out. The subscribe button is red. You are not subscribed. I would love it if you would consider doing that. All right. So this is the block that I just made. It's like 14,980 something earlier. So we're close. We're so close. This is the one that I made tonight. And this is the one that I made the other day. These are the two next to each other. Which one do you like more? Do you like the negative space or do you like them all next to each other? Let me know in the comments down below. Tell me which one you like. I think I'm done sewing. So I'm going to start picking up my mess a little bit. And then we're going to get a raffle set up. And we're going to go check out what's in the Facebook group. Got a dab of glue sitting up there just waiting to be picked off. Batting? Nope, no batting. Because what I'm doing, Barbara, is actually just making blocks. So my goal is to make a whole bunch of blocks this size. I need to trim this one down, so I can do that here for you. Negative space, negative space. You guys like the oh, Marla says she likes them all together. What I am doing is making 6.5 inch blocks with Hexies in the center like this. And then I'm going to save them and put them in a project. So no batting. No batting. Just making quilt squares with applique Hexies on them. So this is what I'm doing. Lots of you really like that negative space. Huh. Catitude likes no space. The red one looks much better, Beck. I like the red. I like the colors of this one better. Kathy likes the green one. Okay. Oh, I like the negative on the red, but I really like the negative non-space with the green. Not so helpful, am I? Says Kathy Rain. For a quilt, perhaps do both. Yeah, we'll switch them out. So that is what I made tonight. So it is 9:20. Let's go take a look at the Facebook group. Do you glue them down before stitching? So I did. If you go back and watch the video, you'll see how I placed this all down, and I just put a dab of glue, just like a half of a drop, right underneath each one of these petals just to hold them in place, and then I edge stitched all of these down. And maybe one night we'll do a proper applique. You know what I mean? Like we'll do a proper applique project. Thank you, Nancy. Nancy says I'm at 14.9. All right, let's get over to the Facebook group. You know what? Actually, before we do that, let's get the raffle going. That way you guys can get your tickets while I'm showing you pictures. Donna says, I like the green one. Becky said, I like both. Don't. So I am going to tell you, this is my disclaimer. You have to be here to get a ticket. You have to be watching live on Friday, August 26, 2022 at 9:22 p.m. Eastern Time. You have to be watching live to get a ticket, and you have to be watching and participating in the chat if your name is called in order to win. Now, if you win, you have to email me your mailing address. And if you live outside of the US, because shipping is crazy and expensive, I reserve the right to give you something else in exchange for a physical product. I can't guarantee that I will mail something to you overseas, but you are not excluded. You just might get something else. Just saying. Okay, we're going to do, oh, I think I can do giveaway from in here. Hold on. Where did that go? Ba-dum-bum-ba-ba. I don't know where it is. Is this it? Okay. I don't know what I just did. We're going to come over here. We're just going to do it the way I know how to do it. Let's see. Got to come up with a fun command. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. We're going to set this for 20 minutes. And what I'm going to be giving away is a package of fat quarters. I'll get them and show them to you if you guys really want to see them. But it's a package of fat quarters. And the command is exclamation glue. So exclamation glue, put it in the chat, GLUE. That'll get you a raffle ticket. A package of fat quarters. That's awesome. Why are you guys saying retreat? Oh, wait, why is it? Oh, hold on. The thing's broken. The thing's broken. The thing's broken. I don't know why it's telling you to use exclamation. Oh, that's why. Hold on. I messed it up. Hold on. No, you know what? Keep doing exclamation retreat. It's working. I said exclamation glue, put in exclamation retreat. We're resuming the entries. I misspoke. The software knew what it was talking about. Apparently, I don't know what I'm talking about. So there's that. Okay. I see tickets are being given away. Just going to make sure that, because there was 11, I'm refreshing, making sure the count goes up. Okay, try it again. Is it not working anymore? Exclamation retreat, exclamation retreat. Exclamation retreat, exclamation retreat, exclamation retreat. Please do exclamation retreat. If that isn't working. Okay, there, it's working. Good, I see it. All right, so and tell. Bum, bum, bum. Let's refresh the page and see what we've got in the Facebook group. 2 new member requests. Let's see who we're welcoming to the party today. We've got Renee and Beverly. Hello, ladies. Let's go back to the community home. We're going to set the posts right here when the page loads. Hello. To new posts. And that's going to let me see the most recent post at the top of the feed. And this is what you have been working on tonight. So Katie just made a pillow out of the minky backing for my nephew's quilt, which he loved. Teresa McBrayer placemats made an IQ designer on my Baby Lock Solaris. Oh, that looks like so much fun. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. Pretty. Pretty. Sherlock Sews almost finished with her U of M. What is this? A tote bag? You know, my mom's sitting there going, dibs. By the way, I have that fabric, the blue one. Renee Drews made this quilt top from Tiffany's Fat Quarter Frenzy. Anne Hunt finished this today. It's a beautiful day, block of the month. Oh, is that done already? Man, I missed that. Wanda Marsh, Sew and Tell. This is the 2 EPP projects I have done. Table Runner is not finished yet. Look at all those beautiful hexies. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. So pretty. Tracy Hester finished this the other day. Pretty. Olivia Ellett, tiles for a new placemat for our dog is done. Next is joining them at a border, backing and binding. Yay! Oh, look! Amy Walsh, The One by Lauren Mormino and Sincerely Jen Patterns, sharing because Becca talked about it in the live. This is the bag that I bought the kit for. Isn't that fabric gorgeous? I can't wait to do mine. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. And I think there might, because I bought the extra fabric packs, I messed it up. So I think I might be able to make some coordinate like wristlets or something to go with it. Christine, oh, I've got a couple of, we'll get to them in a minute. I just had a squirrel moment. Christine Houghton, here's what I have been making this week. A couple buy any bags as a friend's birthday gift and a oh my stars baby quilt. I like this. I tried doing that once. It did not come out good. And it wasn't functional. Not at all. Denise Hale is quilting on her long arm tonight. I love the daisies. Pamela Mitchell got a kit from Laura Mormino too. Lucy, 8 more rays to go and the heart will be done. I love that. Oh, I can't wait to see how that'll look quilted. Valerie Martinez West, a quilt I made for a friend's 75th birthday. Love the purples. Joy's latest projects. She's made some lovely purses. Oh, very nice. Look at that pop of red on the zipper in there. That's nice. Ooh, lots of fun. Okay. Moving on down, Debbie Dunn put a new quilt on the frame this week. My mother-in-law pieced this one. I also pulled out a bunch of other tops to work on. I had a root canal on Thursday, so probably won't get back to quilting until tomorrow evening because my mouth hurts. Oh, Debbie, I hope you recover nicely or quickly. Elizabeth Elizabeth has been watching a bunch of my past videos for the Puzzle Mystery Quilts, and she finally succumbed and ordered the small Piazza in Vittorio using my referral code. Thank you. And she just got her shipping notice. I suppose I'll have both clues 1 and 2 on my shipment this time. Yep, most likely. We're going to check and see. We've got Heather Robertson and Deborah. You are both in the group. Welcome. Feel free to share pictures of what you've been working on. Why did that not work? There we go. Let's go back over here. We're going to change this to new posts. See if anything new came in. Refresh the page. La 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 la. Oh, Stephanie Savannah Wilson. Some Halloween fun for my daughter. So cute. Super cute. Jan Johnson did this with FPP. That's gorgeous. It's really pretty. Donna Struntz, beautiful day fabric finish. Love it. Look at that. Nicely done. Aw, Joy's doing this too. This is her block. Look, I'm so happy to see you're doing it with me. That makes me feel so good. And we've seen all of these, and we know that because this is listed in most recent post order. Okay, hold on. Mona did what? Sandra, yes, but the Streamlab did not give me a ticket. Sometimes Streamlab does not reply. You don't see, well, it does reply. YouTube hides the comment because there's so many coming. So Sandra, I'm going to go look really quick. I don't normally do this for everybody because otherwise I'd just be sitting here reading names out of everybody that got tickets. Sandra, you, let me see. Sandra K, is that your name? Sandra K, yes. You got a ticket. Sandra K, it's right here. So what ends up happening, just so you know, because there you go. What ends up happening is Streamlabs spams the responses. So every time you type retreat, Streamlabs sees that you send retreat. And then when you send your message out, YouTube gets it in the chat, your command, and then it serves it out for everybody else to see. So you'll see it on your screen before anybody else sees it on theirs. And sometimes if there's something going on wonky with the chat, you'll see your chats in the chat, but nobody else will see it. So as long as your chat message gets published by YouTube, then Streamlabs will be able to see it. And then when Streamlabs sees that command, it automatically assigns a ticket for you in the software and replies in the chat, so-and-so, you got a ticket. What happens is when you have lots of people asking for a ticket, the bot keeps up and it's replying, but YouTube can't keep up with the bot and it removes some of those comments. So not everybody ends up seeing the response or the acknowledgement that they got a ticket. What I tell people is if you didn't see that you got it, just type the command again, because you can't get more than one ticket. I don't have it set up so that you can spam it and get 100 tickets. All's fair in love and war. Everybody gets one ticket. If you already have one, it just won't give you another one. And oftentimes, I think it'll actually reply and tell you already have one. And if you didn't have one, it'll tell you that you did get one and it'll give you one. So no harm in doing it multiple times. Okay, I am going to walk over here and I'm going to show you what you guys are going for is these fat quarters that are sitting on my table. I'm going to give out 2 things tonight. This is going to be one package, and this is going to be another. Dun, dun, dun. Hold on, let me get this too. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. The next one's going to be Halloween themed. So if you like Halloween, this is the first one. Set this here. I think I got these fat quarters in the pre-cuts box, probably the pre-cuts modern box. This is what we're giving away tonight. All of these fat quarters. I think this was a $64 value. And all you have to do is type !retreat in the chat. And if the bot picks your name and you live inside the US, I will ship these out to you. If you win and you don't live in the US, we'll have a chat because it depends on where you live. I'm not going to spend $50 to mail this. But if you live in Canada or something, it might not be that expensive. Aren't these pretty? They could be yours. They could be yours. The next one's Halloween, and we'll show that one off when we get there. Do you guys have any questions? How late am I? Hi, Patsy. Patsy Sweat. How late am I? Well, we're giving away stuff, so do !retreat in the chat to get a chance to win the fat quarter bundle that I just showed off. I think there's 16 fat quarters here. And these are, by the way, it is the Meander line by Anila Hoey. Thank you, Shelby. Donna, they could be yours. Do !retreat. So what else do I have to talk about this week? I feel like I'm just sitting here buying time until this is done. I don't know. I don't know. Does your shirts run big or small? I want to buy one. I feel like these run a little bit big. They're unisex. They feel bigger, but there are a couple. My sister did all of them. I just like all the shirt and apparel and everything. That's her venture. So I can't really answer anything other than they are comfortable. I think they're cute and they run big. Janet said, if I win, I will pay postage. Hey, we could work that out. If you live outside of the US, maybe we could split the difference. Like maybe I'll chip in some for postage and you can chip in some for postage because you will be getting all of these. It's a free-for-all. It's completely random. I have no idea who the bot's going to pick. And it could pick somebody where shipping is going to be really expensive. And that's just my disclaimer. Like we can work something out or I will give you something else. You like my hair bow? Yeah, this is from Laura Mormino. I should have her on a live. I bet she'd be a lot of fun. I love her hair. I love her hair. And Janet's in Australia. Yeah, that would probably be one of the most expensive. Donna says, I really love your sister's work. She nails it every time. Donna, you've worked with her on some custom stuff in the past. I remember that. You should, yeah, you should tell her. You should reach out and let her know. I bet she'd love to hear that from you. What's happening? Just got here. We're giving away fabric. Who is live right now? Oh, Lauren Mormino's live right now? Oh. Hi, Lauren, who's not watching this because you're totally on your own live stream. Maybe we'll all just jump over and spam her channel when we're done. That would be a lot of fun. Barbara McIntosh is just sending dots and commas. Oh, Janet Nelson says she lives in the same town as me. Do you ever run into her? Amy said Lauren would probably love to join, and she wrote lice. And so I was like, what? And then I had to read out. I was like, oh, she meant live. I think I need to make an NKOTB Tumblr. Yes, Denise. I mean, if you want to send me Happy Mail. Oh, that's what I got to show you. Happy Mail. Okay, so full disclosure, Pam Weber sent me a care package, and I can't show you everything that's in it because most of it's gone. She sent me some freeze-dried bananas, freeze-dried, dehydrated. I think that's the word. Dehydrated bananas, dehydrated freestone peaches, some homemade mint loose leaf tea, and a ton of yarn and an embroidery stitch book. So thank you, Pam, for all of that. But also, I have been sitting on this little bundle for a little bit, and I keep meaning to show people on a live that somebody sent this to me. So I want to take a minute to acknowledge that I got these packages and thank you for them. I'm so sorry that it took me so long to do this. So I've got two things here I want to show you. Three things I want to show you. I can't remember who sent this to me, but I've been sitting on it forever. You know who you are. This is a piece of Fairy Frost from Michael Miller. Oh, Melissa, thank you for that tip. This is a piece of Fairy Frost from Michael Miller. She gave me about an eighth of a yard of this, I think. And I remember this was from, we were doing the dual live stream with when they were doing the By the Bolt, I think, or their Fairy Frost event. Anyway, I had mentioned I didn't know what Fairy Frost was, and she put this in the post to me. It came from Canada. I haven't used it yet, but that's what this is. And I can't remember who sent it to me, but you know who you are. I still have it, and thank you. This next little bundle, I got a card that came with it. Melissa, I really appreciate that tip. This is a really pretty card. I'm not going to read what's on the inside because this is just for me, but it is from Susan. And these are Hawaiian fabrics that she had and she shared with me. And so I have already showed these off to Tiffany, what I had. And, I feel like I just saw something out of the corner of my eye. I've already showed these off to Tiffany, and they've been sitting very neatly folded on a shelf because I wanted to show you guys what I got. I didn't want to use it until I showed you. So now I showed you, and now I can play with them. I will tell you, these were from her stash. She said the turtle fabric she got from the Fabric Mart on Maui in 2018, and it was her first visit. So there you go. Nancy, thank you for the $5 tip. I appreciate that. And then this last thing that I want to show you is, I'm going to keep the note over here. It's not super personal. It's from Delia. She said, just a little something to say thanks, enjoying your channel and learning along the way. So she made this little quilted embroidery thing. It's got spools of thread on the side, some flowers over here, and it says dream, create, inspire. So that's really cute. It's tacked down in the back, so I think this would be a really cute little wall hanging for my wall of inspiration up over there. So thank you guys. I appreciate all those gifts. Pam says, when I went to Oahu, I bought some authentic Hawaiian fabric. I never made it to Maui. What channel is Lauren Mormino on? Lauren Mormino. Morimino is how I think you spell her last name. Her channel name is the same as her, like it's her name, I think. Cute mug rug. Yeah, that's a good, you know what? Maybe we keep this as a mug rug. I was going to hang it up. How is the... Wow, sound just got all broken up. Debbie, try refreshing. Is it still good? Anybody else having problems? Oh, my hair is hitting the mic. I'm sorry. Okay. Fixed. Better? Is the mic better? Static on mic. Mic is off. No, mic, it shouldn't be off. Your sound cracked. Okay. We're waiting to see if it's caught up. Okay, now it should be caught up. Yes, better. Okay, thank you. Pretty. Oh, lots of people saying thank you. Okay, we have 10 seconds until we get to pull our first winner. Wow. One. All right, here we are. We're going to pick a winner. Woo, woo. So here's the rules. I mentioned this at the beginning. I'm gonna mention it again. We're gonna pick a winner. You had to be here to get your ticket. It is 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, August 26, 2022. And I'm saying that in case anybody is watching behind or watching the replay. I am going to hit the pick a winner button. This will allow the bot to randomly pick one of the tickets that it gave out. If you are the lucky winner, the bot is going to say congratulations and it's going to tag you so you will see it show up nice and yellow and pretty on your screen. I need you to acknowledge that you are the winner. And the way you do that is just by saying, yay, thank you, woohoo, Becca is awesome, buy more glue, whatever it is you want to say. You just have to say something in the chat to let me know that you acknowledge you were the winner. And the reason why I do that is because I want to make sure you're still here and watching. If you are not here and watching, then you're not hearing any of this. But I give it a couple of minutes in case you stepped away for a cup of coffee, you got to get over to the computer, maybe you were busy sewing. I give it a couple of minutes for you to get back and acknowledge. And if you're not here, then we'll just pick another winner. Once you acknowledge that you won, to accept your prize, to claim your prize, you have to email me at becca@SEWBECCA.com with your name and physical mailing address, and we'll work out all the details through email, and I'll be checking those tomorrow morning. So without further ado, here we go. Picking a winner. Winner number one. Oh, look, it's Shelby, Math Geek. Awesome. So let's see if she's still in the chat. Let's see if she's playing by the rules. We'll just sit here and stare at the screen until we see she says something. Come on. I'll just dance in my chair, dance in my... Oh, there she goes. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Okay, so you got those fat quarter bundles. Now we're going to do one more, and we're going to make the time on this a little bit shorter because it's 9:47 and it's almost bedtime. We're going to complete that. Shelby, you need to email me. We're going to do one more giveaway, and this one I will show you after I start the giveaway. It is Halloween themed, so if you do not like Halloween fabric or Halloween projects, don't bother. Like, just, I'm not going to substitute this. You're getting Halloween. One second. We're going to make this set for 10 minutes. So everybody will have 10 minutes to get a ticket. Ba, 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 ba. And this time the command is changing, just to change it up. The command is exclamation boo, like what ghosts say, because there you go. Lucy Salerno says, I watch your videos all the time. Thank you, Lucy. Exclamation boo will get you a chance to win a Halloween project bundle. So while everybody's getting their ticket, let me show you what you're up for. This may look familiar if you watch my unboxing videos. This is a jelly roll, a spool of coordinating green Metler thread, a pattern from Pre-Cut's Quilt Shop called the Midnight Spooky Star, and some coordinating fabric for the project. Just like that. And these are 2 cuts of the same fabric. All 3 of these cuts, this, and this, these are 5/8 yard cuts, and this is a quarter of a yard, and 1/8 of a yard. And then the jelly roll, spool of thread, and the pattern. So you have everything you need to make this project. You just got to bring your own background. That is the boo. That's what the boo ticket will get you, is this bundle. So if you like Halloween, Got a chance to win. You're welcome, Olivia. I won't be doing anything with this fabric, so might as well pay it forward to somebody that will. Amy said, oh, I love Halloween. Colleen says, pretty, but not my jam. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. The pattern's nice. I like the pattern. I bet it would be, I could see that pattern done up in Christmas fabrics. That'd be really pretty. Crafting a Simple Life says, how generous of you. I hope I get picked. Toby Knit says, Becca, tell me about the Lori Holt planner you just got and if you think it's a good size. Sure, I can do that while everybody's getting their tickets. I've got it right here. So if you didn't see my Sew Sampler unboxing video, I showed this at the end of the Sew Sampler video. This is going to be my planner for 2023. Fat Quarter Shop was kind enough to send this to me for free in exchange for doing a video and showing you guys what it looked like, and I'm going to use it. They said I could give it away or use it myself. I'm going to use it myself. So I'll give you some of the details on it. You can order it now, and if you want a link for this, I will give you my affiliate link so that I get a little something something to help with the channel when you purchase this. It won't increase the cost of it, but I will put it in the first comment down below this video for the replay, and if you want it in the live chat, I'll put it out there too. So it's a hardcover book. It is wrapped in like a linen cloth, and it is stamped here. It measures, I'll measure it on my mat, with the coil, we're sitting at 6.5 inches this way and 8.5 inches this way. So 8.5 by 6.5. Oh, thank you, Tiff. When you open it up, you got an area here that you can put some really pretty stickers on, some doodles. You can make some notes. It's paper, so you can write on it. You have a title page. The second set of pages is a year at a glance for 2023 and 2024. Then you have year notes. So this one says planning my year, and it's just got a line note page. This is special dates to remember, but you could use it for whatever you want. Then you move immediately into the first tabbed section. Each of the tab sections are exactly the same. When you open it up, you have a month glance for that month. This is January 2023, and you have a notes column along the side and some empty space, just like you normally would on a calendar. The next layout is just some notes information. You have a page of notes here, and then on the left side, this left page, you have priorities, shopping, personal goals, health goals, and then you go into weekly layouts. Every weekly layout is the same. You have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so one section per day, and then you have a weekly to-do list down here for the entire week. And then if you're tracking water intake, you can use those. These are just little habit trackers, but you could use this to represent pretty much anything you want. Exercise, meditation time, sewing, whatever it is you're trying to track habits for. But you do have one weekly layout for every week in the month. And then at the end, you go immediately into the next calendar or the next month. Now, I will tell you the one thing that I did notice, the tabbed colors over here, maybe you can get a better look at them this way. These tabbed colors are all classic Lori Holt colors. They work really well together. I love her color palette. They're gorgeous. And the tab color corresponds to that section's color. So as you're flipping through the pages, you can easily find what you're trying to get to. The paper is a 70-pound weight paper, so it's much heftier than just copy paper. It's got some weight to it. It is not glossy. It's got a matte finish, so I think it's going to be really nice to write on. As far as size is concerned, I feel like this is the perfect size. I do like my Erin Condren planners, and I usually get the 7x9, which I actually have right here. So this is a notebook. It's not a planner, because I like their notebooks. I'll show you the size difference. This is the Erin Condren planner size. I usually just buy notebooks or I'll buy the monthly planner because I actually need more note pages than I need like a daily layout. I don't need a big planner like that. It's a long story, but this is the size comparison. So it's about almost the same size. It's about 1 inch shorter, but it's a little bit narrower. And the reason why I like this is because I like using those smaller notebooks. I feel like they're more portable. When I'm at work, I usually go for those half size, like those 5.5 by 8.5 inch notebooks that you get from Mead to take notes in. It's only been relatively recently that I started using Erin Condren notebooks because I really like the paper inside of these. But this is kind of pushing the limit for the size that I want to carry around. I actually would prefer to just leave this on my desk. This would be portable. So I think it's good. I will say I am one of those folks that buy a planner and a notebook for the first day of the school year or the first day of a calendar year, and I get super excited about using all those supplies, and within a few weeks I'm like, nope, not using them anymore, and I transition to something else. So it is entirely possible that on January 1st I'm using that, and then by February 1st it's sitting on the shelf behind me collecting dust, but we'll see. My struggle with planners really is that I've got Zoe's school, I've got SEWBECCA, I've got my work, I've got home, and I've got my personal life. And all 5 of these areas, it feels overwhelming to put all of that in a planner, especially like the work stuff, because things change so much. I would spend more time erasing and rewriting and whiting out and moving stuff around in the physical planner when I can just use the electronic planner. But I have an idea. If I use that half-size planner to plan SEWBECCA events and SEWBECCA content, I think that might be the niche. So I'm going to use that for my quilty planner, like things that I need to remember for SEWBECCA branding, business, or just my quilting life. The mic moved again. Oh, I'm so sorry. Gosh, it is literally, let me try it this way. Hold on. How's that? I have been putting the microphone flipped around so it's not distracting, which means it's on the inside of the shirt. But what I'm finding happens is because of the bulk of the microphone is inside the shirt, like underneath, if I get up and move around, it causes my collar to turn. That's it. So you're just gonna have to look at it like this. That's it. You're just gonna have to see the microphone because then the sound will be better. Okay. Pamela says, fix your mic again. Thank you. I think I got it. Where did you get your small binders you use for your patterns? I got them from Staples. But I think that type of small binder has been discontinued. So there are also half-size binders that I have gotten off of Amazon. And if you want links for all that stuff, if you go to my website, I think there's an about section, and then there's an area that says my equipment, my room. I think it's my room. My equipment, I think, is just other stuff. But if you click on that, it'll list out all of the little things that I use and links to where you can buy them. Oh, that's a good idea. Tamala says, I highlight each entry in my planner by person, different color for each person. I like that. Pam says, Becca, how do I get to your VIP page? Let me see. Does exclamation VIP work? I wonder. Let me go look at the commands. 1 second. It should. Yep. Exclamation VIP in the chat. Give you that link. There you go. Your Streamlab told Math Geek they won fat quarters. Is that accurate? Yes. Math Geek won the first prize. It was a package of fat quarters. I have another raffle going, and it is for a Halloween bundle. So exclamation boo will get you a ticket for that. Are we done with that though? It looks like maybe, let me look. Oh, we're done. I'm fairly new to the quilting world. What would you put in a planner? Ooh. So we're going to open this back up because it looks like the timer ran out, but while I'm talking, I'll let people get a couple more people get tickets if they haven't gotten one. So we will. there is a critter or something outside my door. You could hear it like tapping on the glass. And I looked to see if it was my husband. It's not my husband. There ain't nobody out there. It's got to be a critter. Okay. Exclamation boo in the chat. What was the question? Apologies. Hey, Lisa. It's a Halloween bundle. Okay, we're going to let it go again. Use the... I'm fairly new to the quilting world. What would you put in a planner? So for me, it's all project oriented, right? So if you're trying to keep your project, your quilty project on schedule, I would write out the things that you need to do when you need to do them. If you're a member of a swap group, Lisa Marie, Crafting with Lisa Marie is in the chat. She can, or somebody can, put the link for her swap group. She does swaps every 6 weeks. So maybe you want to put down your mailing deadlines for your swaps. Maybe if there's quilt shows that you want to go to, you could put those in there. Maybe if there are deadlines to enter a quilt on a specific day for a quilt show, that could go in there. Just dates and notes that you need to keep for your quilting stuff. For me, it would be more business oriented. So I host a monthly Zoom workshop the last Saturday of every month for my VIP members. So I would want to put that in there, and I want to make sure that I'm planning out that workshop so that we're doing something other than just getting on Zoom and just chatting. That's great to do once in a while, but I want to actually sew. I want to actually encourage us to do more. It would also help me for planning out my videos and other content like that. So thank you, Tiff. I appreciate that. She just pasted the link for the Lisa Marie swap group if you are interested in joining an awesome quilting swap group, actually crafty swap group, because you don't have to quilt. Check that out. Every swap I've done in that group has been amazing. It's the Raven. There was a tapping at the door. Oh, Holly, stop. Yes. Don't freak me out. Martha said, I just got here. We had to go grocery shopping tonight. I hopped on earlier, and let me just say, you look so happy. Oh, Martha, thank you. I am happy. Life is great. Life is great. I gotta say, like, can I just get real with you for a minute? Like, I'll say this, and then we'll pick our winner, and we'll be done for the night, because we're 2 minutes over. We went to the beach a couple weeks ago, and while we were at the beach, on our way home, Jason and I were talking, and I was like, do you believe that a year ago this time, we were in a hotel, the house was going through disastrous updates, and we were about to start the rockiest transition from one home to another. And I've just looked back over the past year, and this past year has been really... There's been a lot of change. There's been a lot of ups and downs. It's just been all over the place. And I am so happy to be in a place where I don't have to worry about the construction, none of that stuff. I'm so happy to finally be in a place where it feels stable again. And it's ours. We have a home. Like, it just feels good to have some normalcy again. I will never do what we did a year ago again, ever. Shoo. I can't believe it's been a year. That's it. That's all I have. That's all I have. All right, let's go pick our winner, shall we? We're going to close the entries. Now, disclaimer, I got to say it again, just to make sure that you're all hearing me. I'm going to hit the pick a winner button. It is 10:04 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, August 26th, 2022. So if that is not the time for you, you're watching at some other time. And this probably doesn't apply to you. However, if you are watching right now, we're going to hit the pick a winner button. The Streamlabs bot is going to announce the winner, and that person needs to let me know in the chat that they acknowledge they have won. Once I see that chat, we'll move on. And then you have to email me, becca@SEWBECCA.com, and we'll work out all the details for how to ship this. And as I mentioned earlier in the live, just in case you missed it, if you live outside of the United States, I reserve the right to give you something else, or we can work out some other shipping arrangement because I can't afford to mail packages outside of the US. It gets very costly, but I want to include you, so we'll see what happens. Are we ready? Okay, here we go. Picking our winner. Quiltessa! Wow. Nicely done. The VR said, God had a reason for that time, and now it's a time for the enjoyment. Just, right? You are stronger for having gone through it. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I appreciate it. Pam Color says, I also moved just a little over a year ago. It was terrible. It was terrible. Kristen said, so happy for you. Loving the new quilting studio. Me too. I am very blessed that I have what I have. Martha said, so happy for you and your precious family. I can't believe it's been a year. I couldn't believe it's been a year either. Pat Strawhouse says, wow, Becca, it's amazing that it's been an entire year. You have accomplished so much. So happy for you and yours. Thank you. And I'm happy that you're like, this is something that we've done together. Yeah, I just thank you for continuing to believe in me and leaning into all this and supporting me even when I seemed completely frazzled and stressed out and all over the place, because the reality is I was. Life sucked for a while. So thank you for standing by me and helping me get through it. VR said, I am going through the same thing now with the construction. It's so stressful. It was amazing watching the journey. So glad you're all settled now. Oh gosh, I don't wish that again. And we're not going to talk about it anymore. Just thank you for weathering the storm with me. I appreciate it. All right, that's it. That's all we got. Quiltessa, Math Geek, you know what to do. For everybody else, don't forget tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time, we're going to drop video number 4, block number 4 for the Bliss Quilt Along. Check out Crafting with Lisa Marie's swap group over on Facebook if you'd like to join a swap group. And if you're a part of the VIP program, make sure to register for the Zoom that we're going to have tomorrow at noon. That's all I got. I'll see you guys all tomorrow on my pre-recorded video and next week live. I can't talk. Bye! Oh, wait, look. I want to show you this. I forgot. I did this. Oh, look. This is where I was supposed to be as I was ending the live stream, where I'm wrapping things up so everybody can say hi here and bye here. I forgot I did this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Oh, goodness, I need to get out more. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me. It's been a blast. Let me know in the comments down below on the replay, because I'm not going to see this live, if there's a project you would like to see me tackle on a Friday night. Yeah, those things where I don't know what I'm doing make for the best entertainment. I'll see you guys all next week. Bye. I'll let you keep talking. Bye.